apparitions determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody play cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions, determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody play cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions, determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody play cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions, determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody play it cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody play it cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody play it cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody play it cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will and a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will and a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will and a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will and a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way.
Hello, ghosties! Hello, hello! Happy Saturday! Wow, a rare Saturday night stream, I know. Let's see. Hello, Saley. Thank you for being the first soul. Ah. Hello, Prince. Hello, Rex. Hello, Shinturi. Hello, Evil. How are you guys? Happy Saturday. I hope you're having an amazing weekend. To be totally honest, I'm a little tired right now. I've had a very busy day. I had errands and then a meeting and then more errands. I've been driving a lot. But I'm really excited for advice from Beyond the Grave today. We have a lot of good questions, a couple tough questions, and I made myself a little bit of a cocktail, a little coxy, because it's a Saturday night. I figured why not. Yeah, I'm excited to give some advice. But how are you guys? Have you done anything exciting today? Oh, hello. Yuki's sitting up here and Yuzu popped her head up and they bopped each other. Thank you for the follow, Red Wolf. Yes, so I have a lot to cover today. I'm gonna try to get to everything and not yap too much on one topic, but I actually have a ton of submissions, which is awesome. I'm thankful for them, and I hope that I can be of some help to people. I've been playing Skyrim. That sounds fun. I need to do my dailies for Nikki and Nikke. I'll get to them at some point. After this, I guess. What did I do? I had to go pick up an order, and then I had to go get more kimchi, and then... And then I had to come back for my meeting. And then... Oh, jeez. Why is... My chat is not combined. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Am I back? Hello? Let me know if I'm live. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Okay, it looks... I think I'm still live. It looks like I'm still live. Fine over here. Okay, thank you, Rex. I appreciate it. Okay, it looks like I reconnected for YouTube, so I think we're good. I can hear you. Okay, thanks, Alpi. I don't know why my multi-chat isn't working, which is really annoying. So I might need to pop out YouTube chat. You went to the gym. Heavy lifting. Lifting gives a good feeling. Lifting does give the good feeling. It's so true. Okay, let me pop out YouTube chat. I can see them. It's very annoying that I can't, like... Okay, whatever. Okay, let's see. What was I trying to say? Oh, everything that I did. Yeah, I had to pick... It doesn't sound like I did much. I had a bang trim. I had to pick up an online order that was delivered to a store, like, a little bit farther away. And I had to get kimchi, and then I got some other stuff, like I refilled our ramen supply, and I got kimchi, and I think that's about it. Oh, I got some cheese-filled tteokbokki because I love tteokbokki, so I like to have it around in case I want it. But hello, Narwhal. It was most of my day was spent driving, because like the H Mart I like to go to is a specific one. The store that I had to go pick it up at was like a little over halfway there. And then on the way to that store, well, on the way to the H Mart I like, which is like I kind of went in reverse order. It doesn't matter. I also passed by like a soda shop that, I don't know, there was just some stuff. And I was like, you know what? If I'm already out here driving, like I might as well like go to all these things. So I was driving for like basically an hour before I even got to the store. And then while I was at the store, I went to a bakery that I like, got a baguette to have with dinner and some treats for later. And then came back to the store to pick up... Wait, where's my... Huh? Sorry, I just realized that... So, my keyboard, I have... I dropped it. Well, I didn't drop it. It fell out of my backpack from work a couple months ago and it got banged up and some of the keys fell out. And one of them, my page up key, the switch was broken. So it's just been kind of like sitting in my keyboard. And I just realized that it's gone. Because I was waiting for them to send some replacement switches. And it's just gone. I think a cat must have knocked it and batted it around, which means I'm never going to find it now. That's really annoying. Okay. But yeah, I don't know what I was even talking about anymore. I just say we get to the advice and you know, we just advice away. My day doesn't matter. It was a lot of driving. What's the point? Oh, Sam! I didn't realize that it was a sub. Thank you so much. Hold on. Hi, Ghost. Hello, Sam. Thank you for 5 months. Okay, Didi, we'll come back home. Okay. Okay. Let me check. This is gonna be rough. Hold on. Can I like do this? I need to figure out a better way to a better way to display our questions, but for now we're still just gonna be rocking with this. Hold on, let me okay. Alrighty. We drinking? I do have a drink. I got some peach soju and I mixed it with this peach tea. It was like a 0 sugar peach tea drink at H Mart. So it's very peach forward, but it's yummy. It tastes like summer and it feels like summer here, so. All right. The first question of the night. I forgot. Oh well. Recently, my spending habits have caught up to me. While I'm not in danger of becoming homeless or something on that level, I'm in a position where I'll really have to tighten my wallet for a while. And maybe after playing it smart, I'll be safe in a few years. I've been starting with the basics, avoiding frivolous spending whenever I can, starting to sell some of my books or collectibles. What else could I do to make some money on the side? Peach and strawberry? Nice. Good choices. Okay, so I will preface by saying I might not be the best source for this question, as I am a VTuber who makes no money and has spent probably, no, not even probably, definitely more than she should, given her financial situation, on VTubing. But it doesn't mean that I don't know what should be done, even if I have not done that. So it sounds like you did like some of the first things, which I guess would be to sell what you can sell, you know, cancel any subscriptions, Twitch subs, stuff like that. Sorry, hold on. I've got on my eye. So I'm just getting a Q-tip with some... Yuki? What are you doing? You're interrupting the advice giving, sir. I thought I got it all off and I clearly did not, so hold on. Okay, I got it. I think it doesn't feel sticky anymore anyway. Okay, Yuki, come on. Okay, so yeah, the first thing I would have said would be to, you know, cancel all subscriptions like Twitch subs, Spotify, Hulu, whatever, Crunchyroll, sell anything, sell if there's something that's not like sentimental that maybe has some value, like if you have some cardboard crack or something like that. You know, you can do that to make some quick cash. As long as it's not something that is going to cost you more in the long run, where you're going to need to like rebuy and it'll be more expensive, because then I would say probably not worth it. But do as I say, not what I do. Yeah, do as I say. I know what advice to give you about this. I'm just not the best example personally. So yeah, so sorry, I feel like my okay. Now if this ghostie didn't tell us if they are like in a like the spending habits caught up to them because now they're in a financial bind, like they have some debt, or they just don't have any savings anymore, or they're overspending and they've put some stuff on a credit card or whatever and they're trying to like get back to a better position. So depending on what situation they're in or what situation you might be in, the advice differs. But I know something you can do that is helpful if you have a bit of credit card debt is look for a card that'll give you 0% APR, so like 0% interest for a short amount of time. Look for a card that would be no fee that'll give you 0% APR and transfer your balance. Now you do need to make sure that the 0% APR counts if you transfer a balance. Usually it will, but there is usually a like fee to transfer the balance. But if you're in a bind and you've ended up with some credit card debt and you know you can save for it, but the interest rate is fucking you, one option, it's not perfect, but it can help you as long as you can pay off the balance by the time this 0% APR is done. And then when it's done and you've paid off the balance, depending on the card, like, or depending on your habits, I would say get rid of it. Like close your account or close the other account if this one's better. Or I think as an adult, it is good if you don't have a lot of savings or capital. Having a card for like an emergency, like what if your car exploded? Or like you have a house and the roof like caved in, like really, really big expenses that people might not have the savings for. You can get maybe like a small loan or use a credit card for. So I don't think it's a bad idea to have one, but if you're going to use it when you shouldn't, then it's better to just not have one and put yourself in that position. Are you giving money advice? Hey, I know what to do. I just didn't do it. I wasn't in a position to do it for a long time. It is difficult if you're in a position where you have bills that are more than the money you make. And that's not what it sounds like. It sounds like this ghostie was just spending too much and now they don't have a savings anymore or something like that. Or maybe they have a little bit of credit card debt. So looking into a 0% APR credit card is one way to kind of play the system or at least help you. give you a couple months so you can pay in like increments, but not have to deal with the interest and pay it off. But pay attention if there's a fee, if there's an interest spike after that, like you have to be able to do that. I'm also definitely not a finance person, so like do your own research and don't just blindly trust me. But I chose a lifestyle that's net negative. Me or this person? This ghosty or me? But they didn't say specifically like what. Me? Yeah, I didn't choose it. I just couldn't get a job that would pay me enough to live anywhere I was for a very long time. But we're on the up. We're on the up. We're on the up. We're on the up. My life is on the mend in the finance department. Yeah, we're on the up. We're on the up. But as far as like earning more money, because that was really your main question, I just wanted to point out that in case it's a debt thing. Yeah, definitely read. Regov, that was the business expense that I write off on my taxes. My 1080 was dying. I legit needed it. And I paid with it with my manager money. Yeah, you do. You have like a week or something. Okay. So, their main question was, what else could I do to make some money on the side? It wasn't really like, what else can I do to pay off debt or something. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that is the credit card game is one that can kind of help out when you're in a bind. 1080 would be cool as well, right? We'll see what happens. So some ideas for like odd jobs you could do to make a little bit of spare change. I don't know, depending on where you are, the way you type makes me think you're American, but there's an app called TaskRabbit where people will like, it's almost like Uber Eats but for tasks, like putting together IKEA furniture, or maybe helping someone move, or hanging up stuff, or doing like, that's something you could sign up to be a TaskRabbit and like do odd jobs that way. You could drive for Uber Eats or DoorDash or something. You could do Instacart, where you like go pick up people's grocery orders and deliver it to their house, like something like that. You know, all those kinds of apps. You could donate plasma. I know that will usually pay some money. I remember being poor in college and people doing that. I mean, if you really want to go so far, you could, you could donate sperm or eggs, but those are a bit more of a commitment and worth considering. But I figured I'd throw it out there. I know females, like girls, women can get a lot of money for their eggs, but it is a painful process, so it's worth considering. And then I know for sperm, it's less lucrative and you usually need to fit specific statistics, but yeah, I think if you have a fuel efficient car, or you can like bike, like if you're in an area where you can make deliveries via bike, DoorDash, Uber Eats would be a good side hustle, or even Ubering. It's just then you have to talk to people. Or Instacart would be in the same frame where you don't have to talk to people. And TaskRabbit maybe a little bit sketchier, not sketchier, but I've never used it, but I've heard of people using TaskRabbit. And if you're like handy or whatever, that could be a good one. And I think there's probably less competition because I don't really hear people talk about it, but I know it's a thing. What else? I had some other ideas. If you want to do something online and you have some skills or you're willing to learn, you could look for like, you know, some editing jobs. That's a big one. You can reach out to like indie VTubers or smaller corpos and ask if they are looking for any editors. And editing shorts and stuff is really not that difficult, I think, to pick up some basic skills to do. And then you can just take on as much work as you can handle. It does require you to really be a go-getter though. Like you really have to like reach out to people and probably do some editing for free, like, and just post stuff to get attention and to get someone to notice you and to have a portfolio. And honestly, like, just kind of Google around for your area because it's gonna depend a lot on where you live, but you could do something like a virtual assistant. I mean, you could go so far as to get like a straight up part-time job, just like 2 or 3 nights after you know, school or regular job, whatever you've got going on, you know, bartending or night shifts at Starbucks or Target or something, grocery store. Like you can say, hey, I have this job during this time, but weekends or nights, like I'm looking for a part-time job. Costco, a lot of places will have like overnight or late night like weird hour shifts for, and then you'll end up getting more money, but it could work with your schedule too. Like a warehouse job, you can see if there's any like part-time Amazon warehouse type stuff, depending on if you're close to one, because they're gonna have a lot of like weird hours, I think. Yeah, McDonald's, sure, but I was thinking someplace that might be a little bit less soul-sucking, like Starbucks. At least it smells better in there. You smell like coffee instead of fried food, I guess. Or, you know, whatever is close to you. If there's like a local coffee shop or boba shop or even like a retail store, and just say, hey, I just have like a job. I'm looking for, you know, a side part-time job just to do something different and make some money. Here are the days and hours I could work. I'd love to do like 2 to 3, you know, part-time shifts, whatever. You'll probably end up working, I would imagine, like Friday nights, Saturday nights. You know, the times that people don't typically want to work, but it'll get you like, it'll get you something, you know? And it could be different from whatever you're doing now. So at least it feels a little bit less like a grind. And honestly, when I think about like when I worked retail jobs, if I was part-time and only doing those shifts like a couple times a week, it would have been way more tolerable than doing it full-time. But that's probably the easiest thing. There's definitely stuff you can do online, like a virtual assistant or copywriter. I would just try Googling, even looking at job postings for part-time work or graveyard shift, night shift, like depending on what you do during the day. Night security is boring, but you got to study. Yeah, night security is probably one of those that's kind of like a good side hustle, depending on what kind of job you do during the day and what your hours are, you know? Yeah, I think that's a few good ideas. When I was looking into this and trying to think of other things you could do on the side, I Googled and there was like a Reddit post with a ton of ideas. So if you Google like, you know, side hustle or something, you should see a Reddit post from a couple months ago that got a lot of people like giving suggestions and ideas. And yeah, I would start there and just see what's available in my area. Also, if you have any skills, like I said, you might be able to take on commissions for things or, you know, help people however you can. Yeah. Hello, Aegis. I hope that helps. Let's move on to our next ghosty. Okay. They said break time from tough questions. How is managing glitch stars going? And even I guess I should have moved this to a little bit later of a question, but I just kind of kept them in order. I like this question. Is cute. Hi, Matthew. So I think it's going great. Managing is good. It's only been a little bit over a month, so you know, I'm still adjusting to responsibilities and personalities and also my own schedule and figuring out how to best support my talents and move like my schedule around, like when I need to do Glitch Stars work stuff versus my own personal stuff versus work stuff. So it's definitely a balancing act that I'm still working on. And it's my first time managing people. I've not been a manager before, so I know what I've really liked in a manager, and it's not that this is even a super traditional quote unquote manager. It's kind of like a cross between a manager and an assistant. Like you kind of do both of those things at the same time, which is about what I expected. So, you know, I do things like an assistant would do to assist them. Like, you know, I've made thumbnails, or I remind people of things, or I do XYZ, right? But then also managing, like I try to watch the talents when I can. I try to remind them of what's going on. And I will say, I think that the talents that I manage, the people that I manage and work with are super driven. They're really self-sufficient. Like all of the girls are so determined and they know what they want. And a lot of the time it's about me finding my way in to help them or guide them, make sure things get done. Like I said, it's only been a little bit over a month, so you know, there's still a lot being figured out between what I need to do for them, what I can do for them, how they like to work, learning them and their personalities and all the people that I work with, you know, how they do their content, what they care about. There's a lot to learn. And it's kind of one of those roles where the more that you work with someone, the better you'll get at it, which is definitely the toughest part for me. Because I feel like I want to sit down and have a play a drinking game and just get to know them on a very personal level. Because the more you know someone, it can help you work better with them. But I hear that I'm doing a good job. I think that I am providing value. It's just about continuing to grow my own skills and see how I can guide and help them, and how I can provide value to Glitch Stars as a whole. It's not just about me. It's not just about the talents that I manage. It's about how do we grow this group and how do we grow the whole organization. I think whenever I'm part of something, I really put my all into it. So it's hard for me to separate it all. Balancing people and HR complaints? No HR complaints. I've had none. It is hard though, because the hardest part is balancing like management relationship and friendship relationship. Everyone in Glitch Stars is so friendly. They're all like, they're fun to be around. I've spent time with most of them, and it's kind of, I think, an industry, and since we're all relatively close in age, it's kind of an industry where I feel like you become friends. And maybe it's a little bit different because I was friends with a lot of the members before I joined as management. So having like the separation of, oh, this is not like friend, it's not friend time right now, it's work time, it's manager time, like figuring out the balance of that separation is what's tricky, I think. So I'm still learning, and I hope I don't mess up too much. because I'm not a Glitchstars talent. That's every time it comes up, I remind everybody. I'm not a talent for Glitchstars. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean I don't want to be. That doesn't mean I wouldn't say yes to it. Like that, it's just a fact that I'm not a talent, right? I'm a manager. I work for them. I'm not a talent. So anytime it comes up, I always want to re-clarify that. But because of that, there are certain things I can and can't do to like keep the management versus talent like separation. I'm probably in a unique position where that isn't usually an issue. But, you know, a lot of you guys know I've been really good friends with Leah, for example. Like we've been friends for a couple years now. So it's like I have to make sure to turn off like the friendship side of me in certain points and positions, right? Like certain areas I'm the manager and I can be the friend later. So that's a little bit, that's probably the hardest part to navigate, besides like adjusting to my schedule and the responsibilities. Yeah, but all the other managers and staff have been incredibly supportive, super helpful, like ask questions all the time, and no one ever gets annoyed with me. I never feel like I'm bothering anybody. I think I'm learning how to work with everyone and how they like to be communicated, and yeah. I think there's always room for improvement though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I think managing VTubers is probably different for everybody. You know, the experience is very different. And it also depends on the particular talent. I can see some management be way more hands-on. I could see some management like making schedules for people or reminding them of events all the time, or, you know, being way more hands-on with it. Whereas I think the types of things that I do are more like background things. But I think I think that's because of the type of talents that I have and I manage. At least right now. Like maybe there will be more, you know, like nothing is off limits, right? It's a small company, so you can wear a lot of hats. Fight hard, it's appreciated. Big boss lady energy. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I think, yeah, managing any type of content creator is going to vary a lot based on the creator themselves. But I'm happy with it. It gives me a lot of purpose, and it lets me see a different side of VTubing that I probably wouldn't have gotten to see otherwise, since I'm a much smaller streamer. And I've been indie the whole time. Like, and now I'm getting an inside look at everything that is involved in like a corporation for it, you know, a management team for it. So it's really interesting. As someone that's always been very career driven, very business minded, I love learning that shit. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I'm always trying to be careful about what I say, because I don't want to say anything that I shouldn't, but or like talk about people. I never want to do that, but I think it's okay to say that dreamers are great, and I love being their manager, and I think I'm growing a lot through that, and I hope that I'm helping them and providing value to them. I feel like I am. I want to continue doing that. I know that I'm growing and learning a lot as a person, and yeah, I think there's a lot of bad apples when it comes to VTuber management, so I'm hoping that I can at least be one plus sign on their resume of VTuber management. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough of that one. There's not much more to say. Unless I rambled. Okay. Next question. Hey, look, buddy. I'm an engineer. That means I solve problems. Not problems like, what is beauty? Because that would fall within the purview of your conundrums of philosophy. I solve practical problems. And yet I face mental problems now. I have crippling depression from overthinking. Sometimes my mind suddenly thinking back to my papers that I already finished and overwhelm me with some mathematical concept shit. Will spirit from another realm enlighten me? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of VTuber horror stories, so I want to be a good one. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm sure I'll make mistakes. I know I already have. I'm sure I will again. All we can do is learn from them and grow and be better. That's always been my philosophy. Unfortunately, as humans, we are not perfect. We will make mistakes. That is inevitable. I think what matters is how you face those mistakes. You own up to where you messed up and you fix it so it doesn't happen again. Yep. Anyway, so our engineer Ghosty. I think this is the perfect example of a moment where my first suggestion should be therapy. Therapy. And I say that because if your anxiety and overthinking is so bad that you're thinking back to papers you finished and it makes you feel this ill and you feel like you have crippling depression that prevents you from living your life to the fullest, that's when you need to seek professional help. Like, not everyone needs therapy all the time, but I think most people probably need therapy at some point in time. And this sounds like a prime example of when therapy would be really, really helpful. If it was hard to tell if you're still a student or not. If you are a student, I would think there'd be like free services through your school. So I would look into that. If you're not a student, that means you've got that engineer salary, baby, and you can pay for it because it's something that will genuinely help you. So I really, really recommend that. I think therapy is going to be your best bet right now. And I'm not saying oh, you need medicine because you're messed up in the head. That's not what I'm saying. Because a therapist and or a psychiatrist are the people who will decide if you need medication. But a therapist gives you a space to talk. Like, you have a space to talk to someone one-on-one that is not supposed to judge you and is supposed to give like unbiased third-party advice. But more importantly, they have training to help people work through their mental issues. I will say, aside from therapy, I really do think time helps a lot. You know, as they say, time heals all wounds, even mental ones. Not always and not fully, but time helps. When you distance yourself time-wise from things, like, for example, a bad paper you wrote, or that embarrassing thing you did one day ago, it's going to be fresh in your mind and feel a lot worse than it's going to feel 1 year or 5 years from now. So sometimes sometimes you just have to like live through the moment a little bit. But as time passes and you get older, you care less, you remember those moments less, and it can often feel less devastating than it used to. I'm not saying like wait it out and don't do anything to help yourself, but time will help you feel better a lot of the times. Not always, but it can help. But you say it's crippling, which tells me it's affecting you. It's not letting you live your life to the fullest. It's not letting you, you know, do the basic things that you would like to do. You're not just having sad moments. You're having actual depression. You're gonna have to put in the work to fix yourself, which again brings us back to therapy. Like, Therapy is the best way to help you work on yourself and fix yourself. However, if you know you're looking into that, but you need something else to just like help you a little bit, you should do things that typically help any kind of depression. So, things like moving your body, walking, or, you know, like working out, going to the gym, whatever. Those natural endorphins, chef's kiss. Again, they're not going to cure your depression, but it's really going to help you feel better. Even just going for a walk, listen to a podcast, listen to some music, call a friend, whatever, go for a walk, go work out, you know, start lifting weights, whatever. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to give you those natural endorphins. Socializing is quite helpful. It reminds us that we're not alone. You know, there are people that care about us. So don't distance yourself from your friends or family or the social unit that you're close with. Socialize with them. You can do things like, you know, have a schedule for yourself. But most importantly, like, make sure you're up by a certain time every day. You know, don't sleep all day. That's really bad for depression. If you have like a bad schedule. Man, there's been a tickle in my throat all day. And this talking is not helping. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, having a schedule where you're like sleeping all day and up all night is typically not good if you're having a little bit of espresso. So, you know, don't let yourself sleep all day. Do the human things that you need to do bare minimum every day, like shower, eat, make your bed. I know that sounds silly, but I promise if you make your bed, brush your teeth, and shower every day, you will feel so much better. Like, think back to, you know, the last time you were really sick and all you do is like lay around, rest up, and try to feel better. And then as you start to feel a little bit better, do that first time that you take a shower and like freshen yourself up, put on clean clothes, and go outside. Doesn't that feel so fucking good? It feels so fucking good. Like the first time you do that after you're sick and you're starting to get better. But like, do that too for your mental sickness, and you will feel better when you take care of yourself and you like go out, even if it's just to walk around a store. Like, leave the space that you're in and your mind will probably leave with it. Yeah, the gym dopamines, they go burr. The working out endorphins go burr. You know, there's a lot of other things you can do to help depression outside of medication, outside of seeing a therapist. You can definitely look more up. There are so many resources, but a lot of the big main ones I think that help people the most are like making sure you don't sleep all day, make sure to like shower every day and feed yourself and put on clean clothes every day. Clean up the space that you're in, right? Make your bed, maybe finally put all your clothes away or do your laundry. Like, try to pick one thing every day, you know, depending on what you need to do. Pick something every day that you focus on. That way you just have one thing and it gives yourself a task, and then when you do it, you feel good. Yeah, I feel like those are the best little bits of advice I can think of. Or I did think of. But if it really is crippling, like where it's preventing you from doing normal life things, like I would say crippling is like you're calling out of work, you're not going to school, like something in your life is affected, you're pulling away from your friends, like anything that starts to negatively affect your life like that is crippling. And if it really is, you really need to talk to a therapist, like for real. But you can do these little things in the meantime. Excuse me. Small things can really lift you up and make you feel a lot better. I agree. So I hope that helps. And I hope you start feeling better. Okay. I feel like so stuffy in my nose and I don't know why. Thank for the bless yous. What time is it? It is almost, you know what? Let me take my allergy medicine before this next one. I took it yesterday. I remembered to take it last night after stream. But I'm like so stuffy. I don't know why. I wasn't earlier, but well, no, I kind of was. And I remember thinking that it was kind of weird. But I don't know. And my throat, has been kind of scratchy. Uh-oh, I better not be getting sick. I'm gonna be so mad. Okay. No, it's not bad to bless. Not at all. I'm a good ghost. I'm not like one that's gonna get banished to hell or something. Okay. The next ghosty has said, there's a girl I like, but she doesn't really know me that well. I'm not sure how to approach her to tell her I like her and maybe be more than just acquaintances. Please help, virtual big sis. So, I will say two prefaces to this question. First, I'm honestly probably bad to ask. I mean, I'm not, because I'm fantastic and I will give you fantastic advice regardless. But I'm terminally online, and to be totally honest, I don't know how people do shit IRL. Open keyframe frequency. Oh. Hold on. It's telling me something is wrong. Let me see. YouTube is telling me there's a problem. Keyframe frequency. Let's see. Output mode. I don't... Is it buffering? Is YouTube buffering? I don't know. I've never had this issue with YouTube. Saying keyframes aren't being sent often enough. So... Not for you? Yeah. YouTube's giving me an error message. But that seems okay for you, Alpy. I mean, I've never had issues before and I didn't change anything, so I'm just gonna hope it goes away. Lamau. Oh, see, now it says it's okay. That's fucking weird. Okay. Well, we ignore it because it went away. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, I don't know how people do this kind of shit IRL. The only people that I've ever dated are people who I have like met and we were friends. Like I don't personally understand how you can like someone without like being friends or knowing them. So it's hard for me to put myself in your shoes a little bit, because I do question like how, if you say she doesn't really know me that well, but if she doesn't know you well, you probably don't know her well either, right? Because how can you know her well and she not know you well? Unless you're a stalker, which I'm sure you're not. It makes me think it's just like an infatuation. with, you know, with what you see of them, what they look like, and all of that. I'm not like doubting your feelings or saying this is true, but it is food for thought that I think you should consider. Like, why do I like this person when I don't really know them? But I do understand like having crushes on people like that you don't know very well. You've just had a couple interactions and you think they're cool, so you have a crush on them and you want to get to know them, and you create a whole master plan about how you're gonna coincidentally, conveniently run into them all the time. And then you guys are gonna fall in love and start dating and get married and everything will be fantastic. So, you know, yeah, if I think of it like that, it is hard. You didn't give too many details about the relationship, about the person and how you know them. So it's hard to get too specific, but if it's someone like that you just occasionally interact with, or you pass by at school, like at uni, or maybe you have a class together, or maybe you guys work together, I don't know. Maybe you have a mutual friend that you just end up seeing her sometimes at events. I don't know. I don't quite know. But I think in any of those situations, the answer at this point is just to approach her. Because here's the thing, right? Nothing's going to change if you don't change your behavior. If you don't change your approach, like, nothing's going to change. I think Cupid is probably not real, so she's not gonna be struck with an arrow while looking at you and think, oh my god, actually I like them. Like, probably not. So I say approach her, like however you normally interact with her or see her or meet her. Use one of those moments and like invite her to something. Or, you know, if you see her and it's at a class, try to talk to her a little bit more. If you see her through mutual friends, like make more of an effort to talk to her and get to know her. And I don't know, just approach her and be like, hey, you know, what do you like doing? Do you want to go bowling? Do you want to go get lunch? Do you want to, you know, come to this pool party I have planned? You can bring a friend to. Like, I don't know. It depends on your interests and how you approach her, but you need to change that. Otherwise, nothing will change, right? So whenever you cross paths, start talking to her. Like I said, if you host some sort of like gathering or party or something, you know, oh, hey, we're gonna have a study session at the coffee shop. If you know, it'd be great if you could come too. You know, feel free to bring someone else if you want. Or, oh, hey, I was thinking about checking out this new place for lunch or board games or whatever you guys might like to do. Do you want to come with? I mean, I think you could be pretty honest if you want to and just say, hey, I'd like to get to know you better. I think you're pretty cool. Could we like get lunch sometime or something? I don't know. Like, it just really depends. Like, the recommended approach, I think, depends on the specifics of how you know this person and how they know you. So it's hard to recommend specific actions, but ultimately it's gonna come down to you just have to approach her. You have to change how you're acting to get to know her better, or it'll never change. So yeah. Hello, Glitchy. Invitation to the Minecraft movie. That's only valid for like the next couple weeks, right? Thank you for asking the egg to make you be here. You were a special... I mean, technically, we were all very special sperm. Because we were the ones that got into the egg. And now we're here. So we're all very special. Hello, bud. Yeah, so it's hard to give a specific direction. But I think you can take that advice and just figure out based on your interests and what you know about her to find a good plan. And if it's like inviting her somewhere or hosting an event and inviting her, just always suggest that she can like bring someone until you guys get to know each other and you feel like you're friends. Suggest that she can bring someone so that she's more comfortable, because it is hard if you don't know someone that well and they invite you to something. It's like kind of intimidating. So knowing that, you know, they could bring their comfort blanket friend is helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Why not just be nice, kind, genuine? I mean, I'm making the assumption that this person is doing that already. Like, I don't think you're gonna win anyone over by not being those things. Like, hopefully they're doing those things already. It's more about how to approach this person, like what to do. But without more details, it's hard to say. So, yeah. I feel like that's about all I could say for this one. I hope that helped you, Ghosty. As long as they're not pushy. Yeah, you can't be pushy. But feel free to keep inviting people, like, or doing things, or, you know, if you're... Oh, I was gonna say, too, if you're online friends, like, if you've played games together, just, like, invite them more. Keep inviting them and be like, hey, like, let's play. I'd like to get to know you better. Like, you know, are you free? Let's play. I don't know. I wonder if this one I should, like... I should adjust this one a little bit. Okay. Okay. Hello, Panda. How are you? All right. Next question is a bit of a loaded one. It's kind of funny because I feel like the severity of my questions that I got, they keep getting more severe the longer it goes. Not severe, but more traumatic, more serious. And you'll start to see it with this one, which this ghosty asked, I'm not in a great mental place and I'm feeling the pressure of life. It feels like I'm not getting anywhere, but I don't think I'm in the right mental state to work and progress. How can I get out of the slump? So, I will say, just like with the previous ghosty, and it's been a little bit of a theme today, but if you don't change, nothing will change. Like, if you don't put in the work, if you don't change anything you're doing, if you live every day the exact same as you did yesterday, how do you expect your life to change? Do you think like the perfect partner is just gonna fall into your arms? Do you think the house you want to own is just gonna fall on your head like the Wicked Witch of the West? A guy is just gonna see you on the street and offer you like a new job because you look cool? I'm trying to be humorous because I don't want to be like, bah, bah, bah. What do you expect? Nothing will change. But like, these are silly little things because most of the time, if you don't do something different, your life isn't gonna change. So sometimes you need more force than other times, but sometimes you just have to embrace the hard work. Sometimes you'll get lucky. You might bump into someone and, you know, things go from there. But if you do the same thing every day, the chance of your life changing for better or for worse is very slim. It's funny you say therapist, Bod, because my next point was therapy can help. It sounds like you are in a slump. You're kind of getting bogged down. You're feeling pressured by life. So if you're in a position to see a therapist or pay for therapy, or you know of resources to do that, I would recommend that. It's not something like, I think a lot of people don't need to be in therapy all the time. It's not something you need to have all the time forever. But in certain places and times in our life, it can be very, very helpful. And so I say find someone that you like and just talk to them. They're trained, practiced people to help you with your mental boo-boos, you know? When you break your leg, you go to a doctor. They set it, they tell you tips to strengthen it, they put a cast on it, and they take care of it. Therapists do the same thing before our brains, right? So they're trained, they have the tools that they can help you with to help yourself and help yourself get out of that mental slump. But aside from therapy, you really need to stop comparing yourself to others. Feeling the pressure of life, to me, comes from comparing ourselves to others. It comes from how social and how visible everyone's lives are now. But try to let go of that pressure of life, because that's not life putting pressure on you. There's no timeline to life. We all have different schedules. We all have different timelines. There's no one timeline to life. Life is not putting the pressure on you. You're putting the pressure on you. And, you know, other people can contribute. Maybe they're not helping with that pressure, intentionally or not. But it's not life, it's you. And, you know, if you don't like the schedule that you're on, you can do things to try and change it. But life is, at the same time, life is short and long. So try to enjoy and embrace every stage that you're at, because eventually enough time will pass that you'll miss that stage when you can't return to it anymore. So, you know, try to appreciate whatever stage you're in, whatever it is that you feel like, you know, you've fallen off and you're not progressing in life. You know, it's easy to feel that way. Like I'll take myself as an example. You know, I'm an old hag with like a shit job that's not paying me well, like no partner. I have no kids. I don't have my own house. Like I could look at myself compared to other people, even my younger sister, and be like, fuck. I'm nowhere in life. Like, she's 500 steps ahead of me in life. Like, I could think that, but it doesn't get me anywhere, you know? Like, if there's things that I want, I can work towards them. But I don't know. You can work towards them and it can help you find it. If you want a partner, work towards it and find one. If you want a better job, work towards it and find one. But as Lux said, yeah, doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. I know that's a quote. I don't remember who from, but you're gonna have to change something. And like, it is important to know when to take a break and to rest. I will say, like, you're saying you're not in the right mental state to work and progress and like feel better. It is important to know when you need a mental reset, when to take a break. Like, you can't work all the time. That's also insanity. But the way you phrase this question makes me think that you're just in a bit of a depressive slump. You're not in the need of a break. So I would say try to strap your boots on, pull your pants up, and work towards changing. And change can be really hard and really painful and not fun sometimes. But a lot of things in life that are desirable take effort. And with effort, there's beauty and there's pain, for lack of better words. So I would say focus on like the number one thing that is making you feel the most depressed, and the number one thing, whether it's, you know, maybe it's your job makes you sad, or you want more money or whatever. Maybe it's the fact that you don't have a partner. Maybe it's your living arrangements. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe it's like your personal health. Whatever it is, find the one thing, the number one thing on the list that you think is the biggest contributor to the negativity that you're feeling. Focus on that one thing, okay? We're gonna break it down because we can always improve our lives, but that's too overwhelming. So pick one thing, and hey, if you want the most reward for the least amount of effort, pick the number one thing that's affecting you and focus on that. Focus on that one thing and work on that one thing. Don't worry about the rest. You can work on those later when you get to a point that you're happy with for the number one thing on your list, right? If it's, oh, I don't like my health isn't good and I'm not strong, I don't do any physical anything. That's the thing that bothers me the most. Start with that. Start going for walks, sign up for a gym, hold yourself accountable, and do things to start with that. And then when you feel at a good place, when you feel happy with your progress, or you're happy with your at, or you accomplish something, like whatever your goal is, then move on to number two. Okay, the one thing at a time, right? One step at a time. You can't do multiple at once. That's fine. Most people can't. We're all ADHD now. So just focus on the number one thing and go from there. Beautiful young woman. Thanks, Lux. I can see why you're a manager. You're doing great. Thank you. You know, I try. A lot of good things don't come easy. For sure. Like, you do have to change and you do have to work hard to grow more and do more and improve yourself. Life looks different for everyone. Sometimes it takes a step to finding what yours looks like. For sure. Yeah. And that's why I really hate comparing. Don't compare yourself to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It can like potentially be a little bit motivating sometimes, but yeah. Acre of man? What's that? I am a cat lady. But yeah. You like it? Thanks, Sheen. You gotta make the change that you want to make. Oh yeah, what did Ethan said? Try to find the joy in life that really needs you or you need them and keep that in mind. That's it. I like that too. Find what makes you happy and focus on that. Focus on that thing that you have while you're working on what makes you unhappy. I agree, Ethan. I agree. Yeah. I think... Ah, Leah! Hello, Leah. How are you, Leah? How was the rest of your stream? I was lurking. What were you? Yeah, you were playing a game. It's funny, the artwork of the game reminded me of the artwork of somebody. Hello, she says she loves me. Did she have to leave? The incest cannibalism? That's what that game is about? I had no idea. I saw you playing it. I was listening to you for a little bit, but I did not know it was an incest cannibalism game. But thank you for the raid. If you guys do not know me, I'm your daddy. You can call me Riri. I'm a variety screamer. We're doing my podcast, Advice from Beyond the Grave, where I give you 100% totally correct advice from the perspective of your internet big sister. And you can submit anonymously if you're on Twitch, !advice to submit. But thank you for the raid, Leah. Please go get some food. It's late for you, so go get some food. Anyone from Leah's stream that needs to take a screen break, feel free to lurk. I appreciate it. And also thanks for the follow, Black Squid. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. We're just we're going over a couple questions. I will say a little warning. A few of these advice requests are getting a little bit more serious minded. They're not quite as fun as some of the others. So if you are not in a good mental headspace to hear advice about depression or really bad mental thoughts or whatever, it's totally okay to just lurk. I understand. But the questions from here on out are a little bit more potentially triggering. So if you're not in a good space, please, you know, take your time. I'll be here with a more like fun stream next time. But yeah. Thanks for the follow, Solarinar. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. Games these days sure are wild. Yeah, sorry, YouTube. Leah Asimov on Twitch just rated me, so. My good friend Leah. We were talking about her earlier, but weren't we? Oh yeah, and I guess relevant. I am a manager for Glitch Stars. I manage the Dreamers Gen. So I'm a workforce. I'm a work grunt, labor force. Yeah. Not a talent, but I work. I'm on the grind every day. I work hard every day. Yay, yay. How did that song go? Anyway. Rie-san wa Teki no tomodachi desu. Teki? Like special? Not a talent, just talented. Thank you. Speak of the devil indeed. 39. What's 39? Oh, duh, Teki. Riri-san wa Teki no tomodachi desu. Riri is Teki's friend. I guess it's technically correct. However, I would say when you're talking about yourself, I would like you can almost leave yourself out. Like obviously it's harder in text online, but and you're technically not incorrect. Riri-san wa Teki no tomodachi desu, but it almost sounds like you're talking about someone else. Like Teki is someone else, not you. Versus Riri-san wa watashi no tomodachi desu. Watashi is me or I or my. But you can almost like leave it out when you're talking because it's implied. So it's like Riri-san wa tomodachi desu. Like, oh, Riri is my friend. But you're technically not wrong. Like the sentence is technically not wrong. Yeah. You thought of the I work hard every day. Yay, yay, yay. I work hard every day. Yay, yay, yay. Anyway. If no one is mentioned, they just assume it's about the person speaking. Yeah, a little bit. Japanese has a lot of like implied subject because even pronouns like me and you are not commonly used. It's always names. And when you're talking, you don't really say your own name. It's a little awkward. Ni-san wa boku no tomodachi. Yeah, I guess boku. Technically correct, the best kind of correct. I would rather be technically wrong but sound better. But I'm never wrong, so. Anyway. Light? You mean like the word for light is hikari. Am I getting sick? Like something is wrong with the way I'm talking. Hikari. Hikari. It would be like light. Like the noun. But like if you think of the Death Note character Raito, an R is not really an R. There is no L when you write in Romaji, but the R's are like kind of a cross between an R and an L. So like the Death Note character Light, it's Raito, Raito, Raito. R-A-I-T-O technically. Yeah, the R's are not hard R's. They really are like a cross between R's and L's. Like you kind of combine them. As long as I look good while I'm wrong, I'll take the L. We always look good while we take the L, besties. That's what you don't know. You always look good while you take the L. We all take L's sometimes. So just know that You're awesome and you always look good, and the L's don't matter. Fuck the L's. That guy, you know, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. Tsukana wa boku no hikari desu. Did you mean sakana? It's... You wrote tsu, not sa. But I think I know what you mean. Okay. Let me get to the next question. But her name is Sakana. There's no double K. It's just Sakana, which is fish. Okay. Let me get the next question pulled up for you guys. Okay. Okay. Ryu-san wa... Ryu-san, kirei desu. Ryu-san is pretty. Hello, Chroma. Okay. Hello, Bio. Alright. Let's move on to the next question. The next ghosty submission. We hate the letter L. Alright. Let me take some water. I hope I'm not getting sick, but my throat is really scratchy and my nose is so stuffy. And I don't know why. So... apologies, guys. Alright. Next question. Well, this is my first time asking some advice from someone else. Anyways, I'm having a hard time, though not literally right now, but in the later time. I just don't have much of the resolve and courage to face such life just yet. I'm still clinging to my childhood funsies like how Mabel from Gravity Falls. I'm afraid that I won't do well in life, and I'm also being pressured by my mother, who's now getting weaker and weaker by the years that I have been keeping an eye of her. I've been doing my best, but my best feels like it isn't enough. My only helper advice that I want to hear is reassurance. Make me believe in myself. I know you won't see this, which I'm assuming here, but I hope you can see this. It might sound like I'm just here fishing some attention or anything, but really I'm having cloud of doubts of myself. Overall, I love you. I like how you care for your fans. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate that. I try. We've been doing advice from beyond the grave for what, like a year now? I don't have the answers for everything, but I have always been told that I give really good advice and I'm really good at looking at situations from all perspectives. So I thought, why not use that and have a little talk show? So here we are. So, I will say this one. Squeaky Boots, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. This question, this request. Infernal Saxon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. This one is a little bit hard to give advice on because I don't really have any details. I can infer some things like, you know, how old are you? I have a feeling you're probably younger, college age, I think. But, you know, it's hard to tell what's giving you a hard time, why you don't think they'll do well in life. You know, what's giving you a hard time? What's making things difficult? Why do you want to cling to your childhood and not move into adulthood? Like, there's a lot of details that I don't have that would help me give more specific advice. So without those details, I have to be a little bit vague and kind of encourage you in the same way that I would encourage my brother and my sister, or any ghostie that comes along. But ultimately, and I feel like we hear this all the time, but it's something that I like to remind myself, is that life is hard. It's good sometimes and it's bad sometimes. But growing and surviving life is tough. It's hard. Like, being human is fucking hard sometimes. Maybe that's just my mentality to it, but I really think, like, we work through those hard times to enjoy our good moments, because the good moments are so worth it. Like, I will endure whatever I have to go to another Porter concert again. Because God, if I didn't feel like I was on top of the world, like I work hard every day so I can come home and shove my face into my cat's tummy and pet him and feel him purr against my head and feed them the best food I can give them. Like, you know, things are I don't okay, look. I know I say I'm a morning person all the time, and I am, but I don't wake up on work days at fucking 4:30 a.m. and go to the gym and work out because I'm a psychopath that enjoys it. I do it because that's the best time for me to do it. I like how it makes me feel. I like knowing I'm improving my strength. I like knowing I'm improving my endurance, like I'm being healthier. I'm moving my body, like that's why I do it. And it's fucking hard. I wake up every morning that I go to the gym that early. Every morning I wake up, usually like 10 minutes before my alarm. And I'm like, what if I just change it to an hour later and I don't go to the gym and I just go back to sleep? I have that argument with myself every fucking morning. Every fucking morning. And you know what? Some mornings I lose the battle. Some mornings I win the battle. I like to think I win the battle more often than I lose. And that's okay. Like, that's life, right? Sometimes we lose the battle, sometimes we win the battle. But it's about what we do in both scenarios. So I think what you should focus on if you're having a rough time, if you're struggling with if you're struggling with pressure, and it almost to me sounds like you are at the point where you're kind of switching over from old adolescent to young adulthood. Like I said, you sound college age-ish to me. So look for the things that heal you and that bring meaning to you, right? You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations a lot of times in life, but find, you know, look for the connection. Like, we all have pain in life, but it kind of connects us, right? Look for things that help you get through those hard times. So, you know, maybe it's talking to friends, right? Like, talking to your friends about how you're feeling and knowing that you're not alone. Maybe it's, you know, getting advice like this, posting on random Reddit threads and having random people tell you what they think. Excuse me. I personally love music. For both the instruments and the lyrics and how it makes me feel, because I can find a song out there for exactly what is going on in my life or exactly how I'm feeling. And that really helps ground me, because, you know, if there's a song about that, that means at least one person, but probably many more, understand and have felt the same way I'm feeling or have been through what I'm going through. And if they can do it, I can do it. Like, we can do it together, whether we realize we're not alone or not. Regardless of all of that, though, at the end of the day, and the thing I want to leave you with the most is that you can do it. Okay? Go, so you can get through it. I know you can. If you don't think you can, don't worry. Don't worry about what you think. I know you can. I know you can do it. There is so much life worth living. There is so much life worth living. And I say that as someone who has been in a lot of dark places, like probably a lot of you, and has had to deal with a lot of shit and push through it, like probably a lot of you. But guess what? We did it. And if we need to, we can do it again. And we probably will have to do it again. But there is life worth living that is worth pushing through the bullshit. And I would, like, do and say this to anyone that comes in this chat, but you can do it. You can get through it. You got this. You never know when it's like the final few yards. So just keep going. and it'll all be okay in the end. Believe in that. Feel it. You got this. Early gym gang rise up. Yeah. Gotta get that shelf booty somehow. Exactly. Sometimes things take some doing. They do. Why go to the gym? It's a choice. Because it's good for me. It is a choice. But the best time for me to go is in the morning, because the gym's less crowded. It gets me like awake and starting my day off well. Like, I notice my mood and how different it is on the days that I go to the gym and the days that I don't. And, you know, I'm trying to be a healthier person for me, for you guys, for the people I care about in my life, for my nieces and nephews. I want to be healthy. I have like asthma, so I want to work on my endurance and like my lungs. But yeah, I think it doesn't have to be going to the gym, but moving your body is important for everyone. So if you have like a physical job where you're walking around a lot, then you get your movement in. But I have a desk job and I'm a VTuber and I'm a VTuber manager, so I have to make up for all of that sedentary stuff by going to the gym. And I enjoy certain things. Like, I enjoy weightlifting, but I don't really enjoy cardio. So I work around that. I let myself weightlift after I do the cardio. I do Metcon, so I do weightlifting with cardio, and then I don't mind it as much. I do efficient stuff. Instead of being on the treadmill for 45 minutes, I do a shit ton of burpees, and then we're done. You saw me on a YouTube short, and then I popped into your Twitch feed. That's so funny. That's funny, too, that you would find me on a short on YouTube, but then come across my Twitch stream instead of my YouTube stream. It's very funny. Boom, triangle part 2. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Welcome in, Moon Spicy. Glad to have you here. Sneezing was thought to be an early sign of death. I can see that. I mean, a lot of the time it's because you're sick. That's the other thing that makes me think maybe I'm getting sick. Because I took my allergy pill last night. I remember taking it. But I'm so stuffy. And I've been sneezing all day. And now my throat's a bit scratchy. I don't know. Knock on wood for me. Fingers crossed. I'm not getting sick. It's just in my head. I missed you, Goofy Pixel. But Goofy Pixel and Milk, you're the wise. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Ghosty Gang. Base lifting. Maybe. I mean, it could be allergies, but I took my allergy meds last night. And the allergies in Houston have been going down, so it should be better. I don't know. Maybe I just need to clean my room. I mean, Sunday is usually my day to like clean out the litter box, and like I take like the litter box bag out and replenish that and like vacuum and stuff. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But I am more congested. I'm usually not this congested. So after stream, I'll take a hot shower and hopefully the steam will help. But I know my body enough to know that something's not quite right. Been drinking enough water. Probably-ish. Probably-ish. But it's fine. I'll be fine. Okay. I hope that helped you, Ghosty. I hope you feel empowered. That you know, like, you know, you can do it. You can get through it. Life is worth living. Keep pushing through. You'll see the good moments. I believe in you. Okay. Let me move on to the next one. How often do I do advice streams? I try to do them every like 3 weeks or so. But I do have an actual recorded like podcast version that I am trying to upload, and I will probably have uploaded the first 2 episodes not this coming week, but next week, when I'm taking a week off ish, roughly a week. Next week, I have a friend coming into town and I'm house sitting while my family's gone. I have to take care of all the animals. So I'm taking some time off, and I think during that week that I won't be streaming. I'll still be available on Discord. I'll still be doing all that kind of stuff, but that week I think I'll post my first 2 episodes, and then I'm not sure how often I'll upload recorded episodes. I'm gonna shoot for like every 3 weeks so that I'll do like an advice live, like podcast talk show style like this, and then like have maybe a break week and then an upload, and then like, so you'll have live episodes with VODs and then you'll have recorded episodes. That's more like a podcast format. But I try to do them every 3 weeks or so. It just depends on like what my schedule looks like. I think every other week would be too often. Since I do rely on like submissions from you guys. But if I start opening it up, or if I do specific like, I don't know, Reddit submissions or something, then maybe I can do them more often. But since I specifically ask my community and ask the ghosties or anyone that the ghosties share with, like I can only do them so often because I need to have enough submissions. So if you don't get to our question today, will you keep it till next time? Yep, I'll keep it till next time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 more that were submitted before the start of stream. Typically, I don't address any that were submitted during stream, and I save them for the next one because I like to read a question and potentially do some research before we come onto stream and we talk about it. So I'm never just talking out of my ass. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I genuinely, like, I will research stuff depending on the situation. Nothing has been too complicated where I've needed to, like, find resources and studies and stuff, but, like, there was a question earlier about, what did I say? Oh, about how to, like, make some extra side money, and I literally, like, Googled it, and I looked through, like, Reddit comments and tried to look around for some ideas, so... yeah, I like to read and take some notes to like gather my thoughts and know all the points that I want to bring up to someone before the stream. So yeah, so if anything gets submitted today, like don't worry, I'll talk about it the next time. Yeah, I'll never throw it away. I think I've only avoided like maybe 1 question because I thought it was a little too dark for stream. But I'm thinking for uploaded videos, I'll do it because then I can put like a content warning with like a timeline for people to skip if something is a little too serious. So yeah, okay. Next question. So this ghostie has asked, how do you build upon existing friendships or connections with people? I know a lot of people, and people will say I'm friends with them, but I rarely interact with my friends, nor do I get invited to like half of the events that go down. I also want to ask about how to make friends. For context, I ended up skipping a semester of uni for personal reasons, and because of that, I sort of was isolated from friends for the whole time. And coming back, I feel socially stunted as I don't know how to talk to people properly anymore. Now, I will say... you said you're in university. You said you're in uni. So, dude, making friends in uni is easy mode. You're in easy mode right now, baby. Easy mode. It is the prime spot for making friends, finding communities. College is the best place for that. You will never again have a situation where it's like a bunch of young adults living together and going to school together. Like, it's like high school, but you're an adult and you can do your own shit. Like, you don't have your parents at your back every second of the day. Like, you'll never be in a better position, a better place in life to find friends and make friends than at university, because there's so much built into uni to help you socialize and grow as a person. So I'll answer your question asked after this one, Ethan, if that's all right. So yeah, so you're in a great place for that. So feel positive and hopeful that you're in the best position for you to make friends, because you are. But I would say, as a little side note, and I'm not saying that this is true here. I'm not saying this is what happened here. But there's 2 points I want to preface with. One is not everything is for everyone. And by that I mean, for example, my hometown friends, as I call them, have a D&D session, and they do D&D every Saturday night, and they've done D&D every Saturday night for like 7 years. Now, I'm not invited to D&D, but A, I've never really asked, and B, they already have this established campaign. So like adding in a new person would be a little bit difficult, right? So like that's not something for me. I'm sure if I wanted to try it, I'm sure if I wanted to play and I said, hey, I really, really wanted to like check it out. Can I come hang out and watch the session? Can I see how it works? Can I maybe like join? Is there a way I could play? Like, I really want to. I'm sure they'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, let's figure something out, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't get invited to that, right? It's not for me because I wasn't really part of it. So not everything is for everyone. The other thing to preface is that throughout your life, friendships change. So some friends will move on to other relationships that they enjoy more or have a better connection with. It's not like, it doesn't mean anything negative against you. It's not saying you are a bad friend, but different personalities, like as we age and as we go through life, our personality changes, and that can change our chemistry with our friends. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing to like not really like be friends and hang out with someone anymore. Like sometimes we just kind of change and like go to a different place in life, and like that's that. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Again, I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but just 2 little side notes I wanted to like preface this with. But ultimately, like, just talk to your friends. Like, you don't need to worry about how do I make friends? How do I talk to them? I don't know how to do it. You know how to do it. It's like riding a bike. Don't even worry about it. Like, if you aren't getting invited to these things that, you know, they were your friends and you haven't talked to them for 6 months, you're coming back, like, make an event out of that. Be like, hey guys, in my group chat, you know, I had to take that semester off. I'm back. I've missed you guys. I want to hear what's going on. I want to catch up. Like, let's all meet for dinner, or come over to my house, or come over to my dorm room. Like, let's pregame the football game. Like, you know, do something to be like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm back. Like, let's hang out and talk again. And I guarantee if you're just in the same room doing something you like with these people, they'll start inviting you around again. But they kind of got used to you not being around, not talking to them, not being available for 6 months. So, you know, it's not in the forefront of their mind anymore to reach out to you because you haven't been available, right? We get used to presences, whether they're there or not. But yeah, so make plans yourself. If you're not getting invited, just make your own plans. You don't have to sit around and wait for someone to invite you to something. You can make your own plans. And also, if they make plans that look fun and you hear about it and you're like, damn, I wish I was invited, literally tell them. If you see something on Instagram or they're talking about it the next time you're together or whatever, say something along the lines of like, oh, that looked super fun. Next time, let me know. I'd love to join. Or, oh, dang, that looked great. I hope I could join next time. Like, let me know the next time you do it. Or, oh, do you want to do that again? Like, next Saturday? Like, make the plan and invite yourself. Like, people get so scared to invite themselves. I'm really guilty of this too. But at the same time, people don't always know if you want to go. And if you haven't been available for 6 months, sometimes it's like, ooh, I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to make them feel guilty by having to say no again. So I'm just not gonna ask them. Now, this is all relevant if you're trying to reconnect with the friends that you had that you haven't really talked to. If you're trying to make new friends, again, university, easy mode. Easy mode. Join a club. That's the best way. University has so many like clubs and communities and ways for you to meet people. Like sometimes there's mentorship programs. You can find a mentor. Sometimes there's like group workout classes at the gym or social events. Like I know a big one that we did at my school, we would celebrate Holi. So we would like you know, the paint, the colorful Hindi like colored powder that you throw at people and celebrate the colors. Like that would be a big event, like stuff like that. Go to it and talk to people, meet people. University's the best place for that. Join a club for something that you are interested in or something that you want to be interested in. In class, talk to your neighbor before or after class, or when you're forced to do group projects. Exactly, Panda. When you're forced to do group projects, like try and be friendly and like make friends with those people. And again, not everyone's going to be interested, and that's okay. But like, you're not alone. You're not the only person looking for friends on university night or at university. So, you know, take advantage of that and put yourself out there in so many ways, because it'll never be easier than when you're in university. So take full advantage of all of the stuff they have going on. Maybe even like sign up for I had a thing where I got to move into my dorm room like a week early or 5 days early or something, because I signed up to help with like freshman orientation or something, or like move-in day or something. So I got to go a couple days early, move in, set myself up, and then I helped like on the day that everyone came and moved in. But it made me, I was in a small group of people that moved in early, and we were the only ones on campus. So like we'd go out to dinner and we would have group stuff, and I got to meet people. And then I got to help people move in. So I'm meeting my neighbors, I'm talking to people. Like, you just have to put yourself in situations to talk and meet people, and you will find more friends. Like, it's so easy in university. Just put yourself out there. And if you feel like you've embarrassed yourself, or you feel like, oh, I just said so much stupid shit, guess what? You never have to see them again. It literally doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. So don't even worry about it. And just go out there and talk to people. Hi, Jim. How are you? Hi, Saber. How's it going? You met a friend through a group project, and now you're a groomsman at his wedding? Oh, that's so cute. See? Show interest in the events. Yeah, that too. Saying hi and asking what's up goes a long way. People should understand life happens. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, college age can still be a little bit childish sometimes and dramatic, for sure. But it's also the best place and the best time in your life to meet people. You're all trying to find yourself. So you'll never be in a better place to, you know, meet people and be social and like learn social skills. So take advantage of that. So Ethan's question about if I have my streams at night or if it's something to do with your location. I actually usually don't stream this late. I'm Central Time in America. I live in Houston, Texas. So it's like 9:30 for me. I usually don't stream this late. Most of the time, I'll stream during the day. So like 12 hours before this time. Like 10 Eastern in the morning, I'll stream for co-working. And then I'll typically stream after work. So from like 5:30 Central to 9:30 Central or so. Yeah, but today and yesterday were kind of special days, so yes. All right. Next question. There's like 3 more, and I'm trying to get my throat to cooperate. I also think I'm starting to feel the effects of the soju. Because I've been sipping on some soju. Okay. So, next question. Again, this one's starting to get a little bit more serious. So if you don't want to hear talk about depression, feel free to mute the stream for the next like 10 minutes or so. But this ghostie has said, I heard about one of Hololive's fans having a scheduled tweet be there on a live note. The talent responded by feeling heartbroken and urging her fans to reach out to anyone, even her, if they're near this edge. With that being said, I know that borderlines the boundaries of streamers, fans, and parasocialism. If I were to feel this way, what would your advice be instead? My number one advice is therapy. My number one advice is therapy. If you are so depressed that you feel like life is not worth living, like you need to talk to someone, and the best person to help you through that journey is a therapist. The thing is, normal people like us who are not, you know, we don't study, we're not trained to understand mental illnesses and these kinds of thoughts. It's very easy to say the wrong thing, even though we all have good intention and we just want to see you get happier and feel better and live a full life. We don't always have the best advice. So my number one advice is to please talk to a therapist or call whatever, depending on what country you're in, whatever hotlines there are, like please call and talk to someone. But also talk to anyone, talk to people while looking at yourself. So I think something that's really important to understand is that people can help. We can help you. We can make you feel like you have a community, you have a place, like you have a place here. People want you to continue taking up space. Holy fuck. Oh my god, that scared me. I forgot about the knocking. Redeem. Thank you for the 100 bits. But like, people want you to take up space. We want you to be in the community. We want you to be here and to live a life. Like, nobody that's worth a dime wants you to leave this earth. We can help you, but we can't heal you. That has to be you. We can be, like, myself as a person, I've had to learn this lesson the hard way. And I think a lot of us do. We can be the best support possible. We can do everything to set you up for success and to help you feel better. But at the end of the day, if you don't change anything, if you don't take action, you won't feel better. Someone very close to me started to very quickly-ish downward spiral into a very, very, very bad depression and anxiety pit. And I did everything in my power. I gave up so much of myself to help this person. Like, I went into debt to try and help this person. I did everything I could possibly do to help them and spend time with them and make sure they were okay and they weren't sad, and help them when they were sad and be their therapist and encourage them and give them literally like going to their university and looking up the resources that they could have and printing them out and giving them directions and giving them times. I did everything I could do for this person, but they didn't get better. I mean, they're fine now. Like, they're doing fantastic now, but they never got better. because I couldn't force them to go to class. I couldn't physically, you know, take them on a leash and sit them down at a therapist appointment. I couldn't do that. You can't ever do that for someone. So myself, from the Hololive streamer's perspective, you know, every streamer is gonna have their own boundary for parasocialism and for, you know, reaching out to me or talking about things in Discord, things like that. So you kind of have to take whatever they say as true. And if the Hololive streamer is saying, like, please talk to someone, and if you don't have anyone, like, tell me, you kind of have to take their word for it. Like, you have to take her word for it that she's okay with that. I really do feel for her. I'm sure in that position, I know if I was in that position and I found that out, I would need some time. I think I would for sure spiral into, like, what could I have done better? What more could I have done? Could I have reached out more? Like, could I have been happier for them? Could I have been better for my fans? Could I have been more positive? Could I have been funnier? Could I have streamed more so that they weren't alone on this day? Like, there's so much that you can think, but I can't take on that responsibility, because ultimately it's not like I couldn't have changed that outcome. All I can do is try to give my ghosties and my community a space to be themselves and hopefully to enjoy life and have a moment of fun and, you know, feel like they have a big silly sister on the internet who just wants to have a little bit of a good time with them and be, you know, kind of friends. Not too parasocial, but like a little bit. Be sussy. We can laugh. Haha jokes. You know. But I can't change. There's a line that I can't cross, right? Yeah, no para, but only like a little bit of para, but no para. And you know, that talent was not responsible for what happened. If it's true, she had no responsibility in that. That was not her fault. No matter how she feels, I'm sure she feels some responsibility, but it ultimately had nothing to do with her. And that connection can make you feel that way, but you know, that's why the parasocial aspect of streaming can be difficult, you know. And I hope, like, the biggest compliment for me is, oh, I was having a hard day, but then I got to be in your stream and I feel better now. Like, that makes me want to cry. Like, that's the kind of thing that I can do. But walking you off a ledge or making so much of a difference that your mindset changes without professional help is an unrealistic thought for me to have. It could happen. It for sure could. Like, not everyone is able to go to therapy and get better that way. And some people do get better without going to therapy. I got better without going to therapy. But it takes, I think, special people and special circumstances. And probably you still need to go to therapy eventually because there's underlying issues. But I don't know. I feel like I've just been kind of yapping in circles. Ultimately, my advice is to please talk to a professional. Please call a therapist. Please call a hotline. Please talk to a friend. Talk to someone that you're close to. Like, just talk to someone. I do have a friend, a close friend, who recently admitted that they were hospitalized because of an attempt. And that their therapist because they realized, you know, I need a therapist. Like, this is not, I should not be feeling this way. Their therapist said that it is actually like they should tell the people that they trust and that they love and that they spend time with, like, open up about it. Let them know this is what's happening. This is how I'm feeling. And I thought that was really interesting. And maybe that's not true for everyone. Maybe it's just true for this particular person. But I like it. I like that they're talking about it. They're saying open up about it. Be vulnerable. Because now I know, you know, now I know, oh, this person is going through a hard time. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known if they didn't say anything. And now that I know, you know, I can take better care of my friend, right? Like, now that I know, I can pay more attention to my friend. I can give them, like, the love that they need right now. You know, we all go through periods in our life where we need more attention. We need more love. We need more help. Like, life is a roller coaster, whatever. And now I know. And if they hadn't said anything, if their therapist hadn't said, hey, tell your friends, tell the people that you trust about this. Now I can be like, shit, I need to be there for my friend. Like, maybe I haven't been doing as good of a job as I thought I was at being a good friend. Let me put in the effort because my friend needs me right now, right? So it might be worth considering talking to people you're close to about if you think that they can handle it. A therapist recommended it for someone I know, so maybe consider it for yourself. But yeah, that's my advice, I guess, is talk to a therapist or call a hotline. But please talk to the people that are close to you, that know you. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's a lot of life worth living and it's hard sometimes, but it can get better. So people who struggle with real relationships may drift towards parasocial relationships for the ease of use. It doesn't give you the same thing. Having a reliance or obsession can make the para part of it really frustrating and depressing. Half of that scheduled tweet sounds like a call of attention because they weren't getting noticed. Yeah, it's kind of like the people that that become crazy stalkers of, like, famous people, right? Can I talk? You are talking in chat, right? But yeah. It's I don't know. I don't ever want to, like, talk badly about anybody. Not that I think badly about this person at all. Or about people who, like, get a bit too parasocial. But you just have to recognize that, you know? Recognize that in yourself. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people that struggle with thoughts of unaliving are because they're not getting, like, attention and love. We as humans need that. Like, we need attention, we need love, we need safety, we need relationships. Without those things, like, we fail. Humans are social creatures. Like, we need that. And everyone struggles with life in different ways, you know? Yeah. I think that's about all I can say for that one. What if you just fail? What do you mean? What if you just fail? What do you mean by that? I don't really understand the question. What does advice do? It gives you the link to submit advice if you would like to submit your own question or situation for the next advice stream. It should work. Exclamation mark advice should post the link for you to submit to. But I'm not seeing that it popped up, so maybe try just exclamation mark advice without the text. It worked earlier. Okay. Last two questions of the night. Oh, that's no problem, Striker. No thing to be sorry for. Not a thing. There we go. Thank you, Zero. Okay. Nobody fails at everything. I think just living is a success. Life is hard. Life is a struggle. And sometimes all we can do is live and exist. And sometimes we can do a million, bajillion, trillion things. It just depends on the point in life you're at. All right. Next question. Kind of related to the one we just had, I think. So this ghostie has asked, recently, I've been experiencing a lot of post-breakup loneliness. It's weird and hard to adjust to. What do you do when you're feeling lonely? I think the easiest solution for this, whenever you're in post-breakup mode and you're feeling lonely because you're used to having someone there all the time that you can talk to no matter what about everything, is to now focus that attention on your friendships. So hang out with your friends. You know, start putting more effort into those friendships, because I think most people, especially younger people, or if you're in your first relationship, but anytime people get into a new relationship, there's kind of like that honeymoon phase where you end up putting a lot of your like energy into this new relationship. And it could be a new friendship too, but whatever it is that's new, you put a lot of your energy into that. And so your older friendships will kind of lose a little bit of energy, right? Like maybe you don't see them quite as often. Maybe you don't talk to them quite as much. Just a little bit. Like not enough to like lose your friends, but like there's a little bit of that. Especially again, if it's your first relationship or you're a little bit younger, I think that's a tendency. So, you know, start reinvesting your time into your friendships, spending more time with them, talking to them more, hanging out with them more, playing games, doing whatever. Granted, not everyone's available all the time. So you could also do things like watch streamers that you can interact with, like me, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, smaller streamers or bigger streamers that have an active community. Like either way, you can talk to people. Like I know I'm very interactive with my chat. I read basically every comment, respond to most things. Like, you know, there are lots of streamers like me that do that. That's one way for you to get like real live person interaction. You can also watch larger streamers that have a really active community. A lot of them have Discords and are super welcoming, and you can meet people that way. Like people will play games or hang out. Like if you have a streamer you really like, you can make friends in the community and then, you know, like meet people. If you're feeling lonely, just spend more time with people. You know, that's what it comes down to. If you're feeling lonely, talk to people more. Surround yourself with people. You can play co-op games online. You can meet people that way, like TFT or Valorant or something. Like just meet people and be like, oh, hey, you're cool. Want to add me and like keep playing together? I don't know. The other cool people will say yes. So I will say another thing that is really helpful post breakup. Post breakup is to start reinvesting that time into yourself. Put effort into yourself. I know what you're gonna say. What did people on Reddit used to say? Lawyer up, go to the gym, and do something. Oh, I thought you were gonna say that. But yeah, whenever you go through something like that, put time and effort into yourself. You know, now you don't have someone else to focus on and help. Now you have all the time in the world to just spend on you. So you can, you know, move your body. You can go to the gym. You can take walks. You can focus on your health, focus on your cooking, make what you want for you without thinking about anyone else. Put the effort and time into myself. Maybe learn a new skill, play a new game that I've wanted to try and haven't had the time for. Watch a new show I haven't had a chance to watch. Do more self-care. Maybe get some new skincare. Like focus on taking care of myself. Clean out my closet. Maybe buy a new outfit. Like just really focus on yourself and whatever your needs are, because regardless, when you're in a relationship, you do neglect certain parts of yourself to take care of someone else. Hopefully they're also helping you take care of yourself, so like, you know, you guys are helping lift each other up. But I know it's easy to neglect yourself when you're in a relationship, so now is the time to focus on you and do what makes you happy and rediscover yourself, who you are, where you are in life, what you want. And if you're feeling lonely, just try and surround yourself with your friends and family and found family, or like internet friends, whatever it takes. Surround yourself with people and you won't feel alone. You never have to feel alone if you don't want to. It's never been easier to interact socially with people, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can talk to AI chatbots. You can do that, but I don't know if that's the best advice. I could see people being a little too reliant on that. But it is an option if you really need to like talk to someone and there's not someone available. But I would say like go into like a stream and talk to a streamer or their community before I would say an AI chatbot. Rigove. Okay. The last question I have is quite dark. It's very long. It's a bit trauma dumpy. And so I've been struggling if I read this whole thing out. And how to really address it. So I think I'll read it out to you guys, but I won't have it on screen. It's just very long and kind of stream of consciousness. And it ultimately comes down to someone just being in a bad place mentally with a non-supportive family. Thank you, Alfie. Have a good one. Yeah, so I'm gonna read this one out to you guys. If I don't know, if like an abusive family or something is triggering to you, then I would probably take a mute break. But I will read this one out and try to read with inflection so you can follow along, but it's very stream of consciousness, so bear with me, okay? And I might skip over some details while I read, we'll see. Okay, so this ghostie has asked, or said, I guess. So my mom and I don't have the best relationship, but for some reason she's confused why. So here's some background info. For most of my life, my mom has either ignored me, or anytime we interact, she brings some aspects of my life that she feels I'm not doing good enough in. For example, my grades, no matter what they were, it was just not good enough. I can have a 95% on a test and she'll say I need to do better, or just ignore it and say nothing. Or when I got my first minimum wage job at 15, she was angry that I was only working 25 hours a week and demanded I get a second job on top of going to school during the height of COVID, among many other things. When I try to talk about my friends or hobbies, she always finds something to critique about it if she doesn't just ignore everything I say while on her phone. For example, I talk about a book I was reading for fun, and then she yelled at me to do something useful like working or chores. If I had time to read, or my music taste, which is rock and metal, she'll say I shouldn't listen to it since she doesn't like it. Everything about my life, she'll find something to critique negatively, from my chores to my friends, anything and everything. I literally took an advanced university program to try and make her happy or proud, but she just complained about how my courses are easy, so why are my grades not better? And now I've just given up, since no matter what I do, it won't be enough. Literally all I want from her is for her to say good job to something I did, and she mean it. Since when she does rarely say praise, it sounds like she isn't being sincere. And the only time I've ever seen her proud of me is when my mom and her friends or family compare their kids' achievements against each other. She's angry and annoyed that I avoid her as much as possible, and now I never talk about my hobbies and interests or have friends over. And I sleep during the day a lot, including naps, so I'm active at night just to avoid interacting with her. Literally, I have better relationships with coworkers I've known for a few weeks compared to my mom, and she has the guts to say she doesn't like it that I avoid her. And the things I hate the most, she just does this to me. My sister, she doesn't do this to her. My mom praises her. Genuinely, I've tried to bring it up multiple times, but she'll ground me or some form of punishment for saying that. My sister is a whole other problem. She has a mountain of mental problems and disorders, and she's been in and out of the psych ward for years. I can't interact with her, and she's like a bomb that can go off any second, so her and I are more like strangers. I see the way others interact with their siblings. It's nowhere near the way me and my sister interact with each other. I know very little about my sister, even though we live in the same house. I don't know if it's normal to have more of a family type connection with my friends than my family. My family feels closer to strangers, except for my dad. He actually cares for my interests, but that's the gist. If I didn't have good friends and hobbies I love, I'd probably be more unalive considering, since I want to keep doing my hobbies that I love. I don't know if that's pathetic, but that's what keeps me going. Reading a new book I like keeps my depression away, since I can escape into the fantasy of the story. My mind, imagination's the same with music. I wanted to know if I'm justified in thinking this way and any advice to deal with this. Okay, that's the gist of it. Yeah, so this one's a little bit more severe. I think the main issue is that they are young. They're probably like a freshman or senior in university, and they clearly live at home, and that is the problem. I don't want to stereotype, but I had a very, very close friend of mine who had a lot of similar issues. She was dealing, but it was her dad, not her mom, that was the emotionally abusive one. And I feel like this is probably the same thing. What makes me think that this is maybe a really strict Asian household is how you said that the only time your mother like praises you or talks well about you is when they're around other friends or family and they're like comparing all the kids. That is so like, that like triggered a memory of my friend. So whether that's true or not really doesn't matter. Like, I'd have the same advice. Like, I none of that matters. But it does read very strict to traditional Asian household to me. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. That's just truly what it sounds like. And I have grown up with a lot of friends in this kind of environment. And I feel for you. It sucks to not have supportive family and family that you're stuck with for a while, unfortunately. Honestly, like, what you need to do is just cut your family out and move out and be on your own and live your own life. You definitely need to talk to a therapist, but you are a young university student, so I'm guessing you can't do either of those things. I will say, since you are a university student, there should be free therapy or something like that. Like, there should be some sort of like free sorry, I'm trying to get like just the bottom of it here. There should be some free resources for you to talk to someone, some school counseling services. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. And you know, you can sign up for it. Your parents don't have to know. Just say that you are gonna be working on a group project or something, or you're gonna study in the library. Like, they don't have to know. Maybe you can do it virtually, or you can have it scheduled like right before or after a class and just say you need to go early because you want to talk to the professor during their study hours or something. I don't know. If you need to make up a lie about why you're there, there's your lie. But try to reach out to your school counseling services and talk to someone, because you really, really need to. If this is your mother and you've been growing up in this environment, the effects that it can have on you can be detrimental as you continue growing up and growing into yourself as an adult. And it's not even something I can begin to touch here. But the issue of like having support and being in an environment where you can express yourself and be free to be yourself and feel supported by other people. Like, it's important to have that, and you clearly don't have that. I will say, like, while all of that sucks, yeah, it sucks if your like blood family is not close to you, or like are shit people and you don't want anything to do with them. Yeah, that does suck. But found family is a thing, and I have plenty of friends who have a found family, and that is who they are closest to. I would say even with myself, like, my family and I are close, but my found family is where, you know, where I thrive. And you can have a found family and a community of people who are close to you and want to support you and hear about the books you're reading and be happy for your interests and share in those passions with you. So there's nothing wrong with being closer to your found family than you are to your blood family. There's nothing wrong with that. It just sucks for you. But until your mother addresses her own issues, you're not able to have that kind of relationship with her, and that's okay. That is totally okay. I found it very interesting that you seem to have a good relationship with your dad. I would try to cling on to that. I would cling on to that. Have the dad be my rock while I'm at home, and start looking at ways for you to move out of that house, whether it's staying in a dorm, getting a scholarship, changing schools to go to a different city. If you think you can endure it through the rest of university, endure it and then move out. Like, it's a toxic environment for you to be in. And guess what? You're an adult and you can do whatever the fuck you want now. So just figure out how to make it happen and make it happen. Yeah, save money, or get like a scholarship or something, look for grants, whatever, so that you can move out. If you think you can't do it until you get like a full-time job outside of school, then do it. But ultimately, you need to talk to someone about it, and you have to put yourself first. You need to start undoing the trauma that your mom has left you with, because guess what? Like, until she learns and either talks to someone herself or realizes the damage she's done and wants to own up to it, like, she's probably never going to tell you she's proud of you. It could happen. I've seen people who, as they get older, their parents realize that this is not the way to support their child, and they've said, I'm sorry, and they've said, I'm proud of you. Like, that can happen. But I would not cling on to that hope. I like to think that she's your mother and she wants the best for you and she does support you, but she doesn't know how to say it in words. She doesn't know how to be there emotionally. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact. And try to, like, you have to work on getting past the need for your mother's approval. Because you might not ever get her to say it out loud, even if she feels it. it's possible that she feels it. But if she was only taught love in this way and hasn't tried to express it in a different way, then that's what you're gonna get. So try to start finding pride in yourself for yourself, or share your victories with your friends or even your coworkers that you're getting to know. Share your victories with them and see how they're excited for you and how they're proud of you, because they will be. And ultimately, tell yourself, remind yourself, be like, bro, I just got a 95 on that fucking test, that advanced test. I did that. I got a 95. That's a good fucking grade. That's a spectacular grade. Like, be proud of yourself for that. Be proud of yourself that you're going to university, you're working a part-time job, like you're doing things that a lot of people don't do and can't do. Like, be proud of yourself for yourself. You can't continue going through your life and expect other people to congratulate you, and that's how you feel like supported. We have to be our biggest cheerleaders, and it's a really difficult lesson to learn, which is why I really think that you should talk to a therapist, because that will help you. But you need to start being the cheerleader for yourself, because you deserve one, and you should be proud of yourself for what you're doing. So please look into school counseling. You deserve to feel better about yourself. Try to come to terms with the fact that you might never have the relationship with your mother that you'd like, but that's okay. You can find a motherly relationship with other people. You can find mentors, you know, friends, parents, things like that. Like, you can get the motherly attention in other ways, but I think it's best to focus on yourself right now and try to find ways to leave this like toxic home situation if you can. Yeah, because you're doing a good job, dude. So you deserve to be proud of yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. I think interests and friends, like, that's what gets us through the hard times, you know? Interests and things that you want to do, like people that you care about that care about you, like that's what gets us through the hard times. So I think you're totally justified in thinking like, well, if I want to read the next book, like, I guess I gotta keep doing this hard shit, and then eventually I can read the next chapter. Like, we gotta keep something to look forward to every day. Life is not ever always easy. We just have to keep going, and it'll get better. And as you get older, it will get better. I promise. I know it's gonna seem like eternity. For the next like 5 years, life is gonna feel slow and like it takes forever, but I promise you, in the blink of an eye, you'll be past this point in your life and you'll be doing so much better. Just keep working for it. You got this. You got this. All right. I tried to keep that one positive. I know it was a lot. I know that one was like quite big. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to the just chatting screen. Since we are, oh my god, I'm so big. Since we are done with the advice, thanks for all the advice today. You are welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed all the advice. I hope it was good. I hope I helped some people. I tried my best. I tried my best for you. But I hope it was a good time. I know the last one was a little bit dark. If you guys think it was too much, feel free to send your thoughts in Discord. I do try to never skip questions, but I also don't ever want them to be too much for chat to handle. So if you guys think stuff like that is kind of too much, then maybe I'll change things up in the future where I I don't know, like I simplify the questions or don't provide all the details or something like that. So, yeah. Let me see who's around right now that I would like to raid or say hello to. I want to send you guys off to someone super cool and amazing and fantastic and maybe funny. Oh, Sunny and Nova are playing Split Fiction. Let me see. You read the last question. You didn't have to reveal yourself if you didn't want to. But I really do wish you the best. Like, you deserve better. So try and take care of yourself, okay? Okay, let me see. Okay, we can raid. Sunny and Nova are playing Split Fiction, so we can raid them. They're playing together, so I don't think it matters which one of the two I raid. So we'll raid. Let's see. Have I raided either of them recently? I raided Sunny once. What about Nova? Oh my god, this thing is so slow. I have not raided Nova, so we'll raid Nova. She's playing Split Fiction with Sunny. I don't know how to raid on YouTube. Someone help me remember to find out how to raid on YouTube. But if you're on YouTube, I know Nova Alkami should be live. So if you want to go check her out. Unless she's not cross-streaming, but she's usually cross-streaming. Yes. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I will see you next week. I'll see you on Discord and Twitter. Have an amazing night or day wherever you are. Please take care of yourself, drink plenty of water, and make your day very great. Know that you're appreciated, cared about, and loved. I'm happy you were here. I hope you had a good time. Oyasumi and matane. Bye, guys!
Soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to re the ghosty girl. I said it's re the ghosty girl. I said it's re